Duke University is home to a diverse population of students, faculty, and staff. Together, they represent a multitude of cultures, races, religions, socioeconomic backgrounds, and sexual orientations. While each person is different, they are all Blue Devils coming together to grow, to learn, to create, and to research. Duke University is committed to being a safe and welcoming atmosphere for all. However, incidents of bias can cause our campus to feel unsafe and can impact our collective ability to thrive. Because of this, the Division of Student Affairs has created this presentation to assist you in identifying and reporting incidents of bias. What exactly is an incident of bias? Bias is an act or behavior motivated by the offender's preconceived notions or prejudice against a facet of another's identity, such as their religion, race, creed, or sexual orientation. Bias can be intentional or unintentional and can be directed toward a group or an individual. Bias can take on various forms, including graffiti or signs, threatening voicemail, email, or message, telephone harassment, physical or verbal confrontation, verbal harassment, slurs or threats, written slurs or threats, gestures that are threatening or harassing, physical injury, damage to property, or advantages or disadvantages based on a person's identity. How do you know if what you have witnessed is an incident of bias? If you can answer yes to any of the following questions, then you have witnessed an incident of bias and you must report it. Was a derogatory slur used? Was a hate symbol used? Has there been a pattern of incidents affecting people with similar demographics? For example, have you noticed multiple Jewish students being verbally harassed, or the dorm rooms of Latino students being vandalized? Were threatening or harassing gestures used? Was someone advantaged or disadvantaged because of their race, religion, or other identifying characteristic? For example, have you noticed LGBT students were not selected to join an organization? Was a hate group involved? Was someone targeted because of their race, religion, sexual orientation, or other personal characteristic? You may be wondering what the differences are between an incident of bias and a hate crime. Not all incidents of bias are considered hate crimes. A hate crime is defined as a criminal offense against a person or property motivated in whole or in part by an offender's bias against a race, religion, disability, ethnic origin, or sexual orientation. Both incidents of bias and hate crimes can occur anywhere on campus. Whether it is an athlete being assaulted after practice because of his or her race, LGBT students being excluded from attending a performance, a professor being taunted in class because of his or her religion, or simply someone posting hateful signs around campus. These types of situations should be taken seriously. The first step in reporting an incident is to visit the Bias Incident website at www.studentaffairs.duke.edu/bias-response. You will need to fill out an incident report form. If you prefer, you can submit the report anonymously. Your report will be forwarded to the Office of Student Conduct for review. The Bias Analysis Task Force will be notified. What is the Bias Analysis Task Force? The task force reviews and analyzes allegations of bias in order to determine what actions are needed to improve the overall climate of the university. These actions may include encouraging students, faculty, and staff to explore their personal identities, suggesting new policies related to bias, or facilitating dialogue. A list of members can be found by visiting the Bias Response page on the Student Affairs website. After the incident is reported, one of the following consequences or interventions may occur depending on the severity of the incident, including educational programming, promotion of campus dialogue, referral to the Office of Student Conduct, an investigation by Duke Police, a referral to counseling and psychological services or mediation, An institutional practice or policy may be recommended, or an intervention strategy could be implemented. If you would like more information about incidents of bias, please visit the Bias Response page on the Student Affairs website, which can be found at www.studentaffairs.duke.edu/bias-response, or contact a member of the Bias Analysis Task Force.